Imagine a picturesque Midwestern town, the kind where everybody knows everybody, nestled away from the hustle and bustle of the big cities. But on a fateful day in 1949, this small, seemingly innocent town became the site of one of the most bizarre and gruesome events in American history. Over 350 students and staff at Sunnydale High School in Goobersville, Indiana, reportedly met their untimely deaths due to a deliberate mass poisoning. The alleged culprit? A beloved lunch lady named Ayleen G, who chillingly claimed she was saving them from the pain of living. But was this a genuine tragedy or a horrifying hoax spun by the internet? The deeper you dive into this story, the murkier and more unsettling it becomes. Goobersville was the embodiment of 1940s Americana. Its small-town charm came complete with white picket fences, a thriving farming community, and a close-knit population of just under 5,000 people. It was the kind of town where the church pews were always full on Sundays, and everyone trusted their neighbors implicitly. Sunnydale High School stood at the heart of the community. It was more than just a school. It was a hub for local events, sports games, and PTA meetings. The staff was a reflection of the town's spirit, none more so than Ayleen G, the school's cheerful lunch lady. Known for her warm smile and hearty meals, Ainuse was adored by students and staff alike. Her reputation as a kind, maternal figure made what happened next all the more shocking. The events of October 12, 1949, began like any other day. Students arrived at Sunnydale High, clutching their books and chatting excitedly about the upcoming fall festival. The cafeteria served its usual fare: meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans, with Ainuse presiding over the lunch line. But by mid-afternoon, chaos erupted. Students began collapsing in hallways, clutching their stomachs and vomiting profusely. Some reported hallucinations, while others became lethargic, slipping into unconsciousness. Teachers tried to maintain order, but the sheer scale of the incident overwhelmed them. By the time ambulances arrived, dozens were already dead, and many more were critically ill. Authorities initially suspected a contaminated water supply, but the symptoms were far too severe and widespread. Suspicion soon fell on the school lunches and Ayleen G by news. When police questioned Ainuse, her response was as chilling as it was baffling. She allegedly confessed to poisoning the food with arsenic, stating, "I was saving them from the pain of living. They're free now." The statement stunned investigators and sent shockwaves through Goobersville. How could such a seemingly kind and nurturing woman commit such a heinous act? Ainuse's motives, if genuine, remain a matter of speculation. Some believed she suffered from severe mental illness, perhaps exacerbated by years of isolation and an unfulfilled personal life. Others suggested she harbored deep resentment toward the town and its residents, stemming from a traumatic childhood. Whatever the case, Ainuse's alleged confession made headlines nationwide, painting her as a monstrous figure in the public eye. The scale of the tragedy was unprecedented. By the end of the day, 352 people were confirmed dead, making it one of the deadliest mass poisonings in U.S. history. Funerals were held in quick succession, and the town of Goobersville was plunged into mourning. Sunnydale High School was permanently closed, its halls forever haunted by the memories of that fateful day. Ayleen G was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder. However, before she could stand trial, she reportedly took her own life in her jail cell. Her death left many questions unanswered, adding another layer of mystery to an already perplexing case. Despite the initial media frenzy, cracks in the story began to appear. For one, no verifiable records of Sunnydale High School or the incident itself exist in official archives. Goobersville, Indiana, is not listed on any historical maps, and contemporary newspaper accounts of the time make no mention of the tragedy. This has led many to speculate that the Goobersville Mass Poisoning is nothing more than an urban legend, a piece of macabre folklore perpetuated by the internet. The story gained traction on social media platforms and creepypasta forums, where it was shared as a chilling but fictional tale. While skeptics dismissed the story as a fabrication, Some argue that the lack of evidence doesn't necessarily disprove its occurrence. They point to the possibility of a cover-up, suggesting that local authorities and even the federal government may have suppressed information to protect the town's reputation or avoid widespread panic. Proponents of this theory cite inconsistencies in official records and the eerie absence of survivors or witnesses willing to come forward. Adding to the intrigue are the supposed photographs of Sunnydale High School and yearbook pages featuring Ainuse, which occasionally surface online. While most of these images are easily debunked as doctored or unrelated, their existence fuels the story's enduring appeal. If the Goobersville Mass Poisoning is indeed a hoax, it is a masterfully crafted one. Its creators wove together elements of small-town Americana, post-war societal anxieties, and the archetype of the killer caretaker to create a narrative that feels disturbingly plausible. The story taps into deep-seated fears about trust, safety, and the hidden darkness within seemingly ordinary people. The internet has proven to be fertile ground for such tales, allowing them to spread rapidly and take on a life of their own. Once a story gains traction, it becomes increasingly difficult to separate fact from fiction, especially when it preys on our collective fascination with the macabre. The Goobersville Mass Poisoning persists in the public consciousness because it resonates on multiple levels. It is a cautionary tale about blind trust, a commentary on the fragility of small-town idols, and a haunting reminder of humanity's capacity for evil. Even if it never happened, the story holds a mirror to our darkest fears and desires. True crime enthusiasts and internet sleuths are particularly drawn to the case because it occupies a tantalizing gray area between reality and fiction. The absence of definitive answers only deepens its allure, inviting endless speculation and debate. Whether fact or fiction, the Goobersville Mass Poisoning offers valuable insights into the nature of storytelling and the human psyche. It demonstrates how easily narratives can be constructed and disseminated, especially in the age of digital media. It also underscores the importance of critical thinking and the need to verify information before accepting it as truth. For those who believe the story, it serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind the most benign facades. For skeptics, it is a fascinating case study in the power of folklore and the internet's ability to blur the lines between reality and imagination. So, was the Goobersville Mass Poisoning a real tragedy or a masterful work of fiction? The answer remains elusive, shrouded in a fog of doubt and intrigue. What is certain, however, is the story's ability to captivate and terrify in equal measure. It is a testament to the enduring power of the macabre and our unending quest for answers to life's darkest mysteries. As we peel back the layers of this tale, one thing becomes clear. Whether fact or fiction, the Goobersville Mass Poisoning has earned its place in the annals of true crime lore. It is a story that refuses to die, much like the haunting legacy of Ayleen G, Ainuse herself. For now, the truth lies buried, perhaps forever, in the shadows of Goobersville, Indiana. The tale of the Goobersville Mass Poisoning lingers like a ghostly echo, haunting the collective psyche of true crime enthusiasts and skeptics alike. Whether it is a factual account of a small-town tragedy or an expertly crafted work of fiction, its endurance in popular culture is undeniable. It captivates because it taps into a universal truth. The veneer of normalcy can hide unimaginable horrors. If true, the Goobersville Mass Poisoning represents one of the darkest chapters in American history, a grotesque betrayal of trust by a figure who symbolized care and comfort. Ayleen G. Ainuse's alleged confession, claiming she was saving them from the pain of living, forces us to confront the fragility of our assumptions about safety and the people we rely on. Her chilling words suggest a deep psychological rupture, one that, if genuine, underscores the hidden battles many individuals face. It serves as a grim reminder that even the most familiar faces can harbor untold darkness. On the other hand, if the story is a fabrication, it stands as a testament to the power of folklore and the internet's ability to breathe life into myth. The Goobersville Mass Poisoning thrives in the liminal space between reality and fiction, where doubt and speculation fuel its mystique. In this light, the story becomes less about a historical event and more about our collective fascination with the macabre. It reflects our need to explore the limits of human depravity, safely cocooned within the knowledge that the story might not be real. For true crime enthusiasts, the case is both tantalizing and maddening. The lack of concrete evidence, coupled with the abundance of narrative details, creates a puzzle that invites endless theorizing. How could a tragedy of such magnitude leave behind so few traces? Could there have been a deliberate effort to erase it from history? Or is the story simply a cleverly constructed hoax designed to exploit our morbid curiosity? These unanswered questions keep the legend alive, ensuring its place in the annals of internet folklore. The Goobersville story also raises important questions about our relationship with true crime. Why are we so drawn to tales of horror and tragedy? Is it a search for understanding, a way to make sense of senseless acts, or a voyeuristic fascination with the macabre? Perhaps it is all of these things. Stories like Goobersville remind us of the thin line between entertainment and exploitation, challenging us to confront the ethical implications of consuming true crime content. Whether it is a cautionary tale, a buried truth, or a masterfully spun piece of fiction, the Goobersville Mass Poisoning leaves an indelible mark on those who encounter it. Its ambiguity ensures its longevity, captivating new audiences and inspiring fresh debates. As long as there are unanswered questions and unresolved mysteries, stories like Goobersville will continue to resonate, drawing us into their shadowy depths. In the end, the true horror of the Goobersville Mass Poisoning lies not just in its details, but in its implications. It reminds us that the line between fact and fiction is often razor thin, and that sometimes the most chilling stories are the ones we can't quite prove or dismiss. Whether or not the tragedy occurred, its legacy endures, a haunting specter of doubt and curiosity that refuses to fade.